Hello friends, welcome to EC Academy. In this lecture, let us understand CMOS inverter circuit, stick diagram and layout. First, let us write the CMOS circuit. CMOS circuit consists of a PMOS, which is connected on the top, and NMOS, which is connected at the bottom. In this circuit, the source terminal of PMOS is connected to VDD and the source terminal of NMOS is connected to ground, which is VSS. Now the gate terminal of PMOS and NMOS are shorted and connected to the input, and drain terminal of both PMOS and NMOS are shorted and connected to output. So this is the CMOS inverter circuit. For this CMOS inverter circuit, now let us write the stick diagram. VDD and VSS are represented by a metal which is written by blue color line. PMOS is represented by yellow vertical line and red horizontal line. This yellow vertical line represents the P diffusion region and this red horizontal line represents polysilicon. Similar to this, NMOS can be represented by a green line which is written in vertical direction, and in horizontal direction we can write a red line. Here green line represents N diffusion region and red line represents polysilicon. Now similar to this circuit connection, the gate terminals are shorted and connected to input. So here we can take the same polysilicon and connect it with each other. So you can connect this polysilicon and it can be connected to input. Since drain terminals are shorted, we can short these two diffusion layers using a metal and we can connect the output. Wherever different regions are overlapping or connected using the metal, at that place we can write black color dot that represents the contact. So this diagram is the stick diagram for the CMOS inverter circuit. Here you need to remember, a stick diagram is not an actual layout. So here the stick diagram is just a symbolic representation showing where different layers will be placed. You can just think this stick diagram as a blueprint before drawing the layout. Now let us draw the layout. To draw the layout, you can use the same concept of stick diagram and you can represent it using different regions. So here each region is represented by a rectangular layer that represents the real fabrication layer. Now let us represent VDD and VSS using blue rectangle which represents VDD and VSS. So here VDD and VSS are represented using metal. Now to draw the PMOS, let us take yellow color layer and you draw the green stripes, and for this horizontally let us take the P diffusion layer. So this represents the PMOS. To represent NMOS, we can take a green layout in vertical direction, and in horizontal direction let us take the polysilicon. Now this represents the NMOS. Since the drain region of PMOS is connected to VDD, so let us extend this metal and connect it to the P diffusion layer, and this source terminal of NMOS is connected to this metal, that is ground. So let us extend this metal and connect to the N diffusion region. Now connection for VDD and VSS is complete. Now to connect the input, let us short both the polysilicon and we can connect the input. To get the output, let us short the drain terminal of both PMOS and NMOS using metal and let us connect the terminal to get the output. Wherever two or more regions are joined, we can connect the contact. So here we need to connect a contact for metal and P diffusion, and metal and N diffusion. We can connect the contact, and between two drain terminals and metal, we can connect the contact. So this represents the CMOS inverter layout. Now this layout we cannot draw it in exam using color pencil. That's why we can go with a monochrome layout which you can draw in exam. To represent the monochrome layout, usually you'll use black color pen. In monochrome layout, this is how you can represent the N diffusion region. You can take the rectangle and you can draw the strokes which is little bit nearby. So this represents N diffusion region. To represent P diffusion, you take the rectangle and draw the strokes little bit far, which represents P diffusion region. And to represent polysilicon, you can take the rectangle and the strokes are nearby but in the opposite direction. So this represents polysilicon. And metal, you can take a rectangle and vertical strokes represents the metal. So to draw the layout in exam, you can use this type of representation. Now let us draw the monochrome layout. So this is VDD with vertical strokes that represents metal. Let us take VSS with vertical strokes. This represents VSS. Now let us draw the PMOS with P diffusion layer and a polysilicon. Let us write NMOS with N diffusion region with polysilicon region. Now we can extend this polysilicon region to connect the input. We can connect P diffusion and N diffusion layer by extending the metal and connecting the contacts. And we can connect both the drain region using the metal, and the same metal can be extended to get the output. And we can use contact to connect these two drain terminals. So this is the layout for CMOS inverter. This is about CMOS inverter circuit, stick diagram and layout. I hope you have understood the topic. Thank you.